Hello there, Scorpio. Michele B here. I've got some messages for you, particularly regarding your money and your love, how to have more abundance when it comes to your resources, and how to have more balanced, loving relationships, or how to bring those in if you don't have them already. If these messages don't resonate with you, then that means that they're not for you, and you can check out your moon, your rising, your Venus or Mars signs on my channel or on any other tarot reader's channel. There's many other tarot readers on YouTube with lots of other messages. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to look at what to embrace and what to leave behind for the time being, probably about 2 weeks or so. Whenever you get these messages and they resonate, that's when you needed to hear them. It doesn't matter when I posted them. What to embrace? We've got the Fool, which is all about not knowing where the hell you're going, right? And I see that very, very well entangled. And when I look at the rest of the cards that I pulled already, I'm like, yeah, this works. That these two are entangled up together, not knowing where you're going and doing it on your own. Because I feel like you're not getting a lot of support from other people. And it might be the first time in a long time that you've had to do a lot on your own. I mean, in the past, you've done things on your own, but it was really hard. Whereas this time, the universe is saying, you know, it's not going to be so bad. You have a lot of good stuff going on in your life. And just because you're not getting the support from the people that you used to get support from doesn't mean that it's going to be hard. It's really just a matter of realizing realizing the skills and the resources that you have acquired over time. You're not the same person you were 10 years ago, for sure. That you've learned so much about how to do things on your own and do things your own way. It's really time for you to take control over that. And with this Six of Wands being in reverse, this person is victorious, right? Because they're a champion and they did it on their own. And I don't think you've seen yourself as somebody who does things on their own for a while. You've seen yourself as someone who needs someone else to help you out with certain things. And now you're like, you know what? I'm ready to do it my own way. You have to, right? Yeah. You have to do things your own way right now. There's some of you out there who are like, hey, I've always been doing it on my own. Well, that's not for you then. All right. But you might resonate with the fact that you've been feeling like other people have been telling you what to do a little bit too much. People have been bossing you around. And because you're interdependent with them, either through work or a living situation, you feel like you're beholden to them in some way. But now it's time to untangle yourself from the situation that you are in so that you can live more independently, doing things your way, the way that you want to do them, the way that the Spirit is guiding you to go, because that's what the Fool is all about, is being guided by the Spirit to the next phase. It's the zero between the last phase and the new phase. It's that feeling like something's got to change and not knowing how it's going to all work out, not knowing what step to take next, just like, I don't know, I'm just going to get up in the morning and I'm going to do my thing and I think that stuff's going to land in my lap. That's that kind of feeling. Okay, so I'm going to go over to look at your first money messages, abundance and prosperity messages, and then I'll look at the love finally at the end. Okay, so these 3 cards that I draw from the Solace Divinity deck, they're all black and gold. So to me, it's like, what's going on in the internal landscape? It's like there's some like things that you're churning around. Like there's these things that are bothering you, and then there's this like thing that you know that you're capable of. That's what that Ten of Pentacles is all about. This is what I know that I'm capable of. I know that I'm capable of building a legacy for myself, building stability for myself, building a home for myself. And of course, you would love to have it with your family. And that could be the case for you, like with your person that you're in a relationship with, or with your family, with your close friends. You're like, let's build something substantial together. But it could just be you on your own. And I'm really thinking about that. Just what does Scorpio want? And how can they build that stability? You're a fixed sign. You need things to be stable and grounded in order for you to thrive creatively. In order for you to be well, you need to have a solid foundation for your living environment, for your resources. You're like, how can I build that for myself? Well, the first thing is to get out of a situation that is stagnant and actually got quite a bit of animosity. So if you're in a work environment right now where you've been stuck in the same spot, doing the same kinds of things day in, day out, is driving you crazy. And also on top of that, there might be people that you're butting heads with, people that have a bone to pick with you, and people that you have a bone to pick with, right? These are all environmental factors. I'm going to adjust this. This is really getting on my nerves. Not being in the frame the way I want to be. Okay, I like that a little bit better. Anyway, as I was saying, the vibration of being in that kind of environment that's a little bit hostile, and definitely there's no elbow room for growth at all, it's keeping you down vibrationally, and it's keeping you from being able to think creatively. However, you're not being told to just drop everything right away. These are the advice cards. My gilded cards are always the advice ones. You're not being told you're being told the opposite. Don't run away, right? Don't just take off. Don't act too hastily. However, you need to have an open mind for all of your options. So I think what's been going on is that you've been churning all of these ideas. I could do this, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. But it's because there's so many options in the world, right? And it's like there's FOMO if you choose one. Oh no, there's all these other things that I could be doing with myself in order to make a living, in order to invest appropriately. So anyway, there is really only one thing that you really want to focus on. If we split, especially for fixed signs like Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, if you split your energy too much, it can, I'm gonna have to edit this long space out. Anyway, yeah, splitting your energy is not really good for you, because you really need to not multitask. You need to keep your eye on one prize and just go for it, right? So what you need to do is instead just focus on what that simple one thing is that you want to do. Let me just pull a card real quick so I can get a little bit of a clue about what that means. That one thing, even though there's all these other choices that are just really distracting. And we've got some cups coming up in the love and relationships department too, and I think that might be being a little bit of a distraction too, and we're going to talk about that. All the cups. There's the star. The star is all about healing. So I think there's some interpersonal relationship stuff that's really distracting for you, and it's keeping you from being able to think clearly about the next step forward in your abundance and prosperity, and your success, your contribution to the world. You're not able to work at your peak ability because of interpersonal relationship kind of stuff. Specifically, habits that are holding you back. Now we got the Four of Pentacles, the final thought about all of this. The Four of Pentacles is here in reverse, and it might there's a suggestion that you might be frivolous with your money, and it's suggesting that you might want to consider pulling back and simplifying your life. If you're watching this in September, which is when I'm recording this, it is the season, Virgo is the season of, all that clickety click sound is my little boy who's still home because of COVID shutdowns of the school quarantine. Some children came in that were positive for COVID. Anyway, it is the season of purging, cleansing, being healthy, and being careful with your resources. Having a balanced lifestyle instead of just like, living pedal to the metal as you have been all summer, right? All summer you're like, go, 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 fun, 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 fun. That's great. That's the season for it. But Virgos, September is the time for reeling it back in and figuring out what's absolutely necessary in order for you to thrive and getting rid of everything else. So it's saying like, yeah, time to pull it back, figure out what it is that you really need to be spending your money on, and otherwise keep it a little bit more balanced. So moving over to your love and relationships messages. Hey, if everything's going smoothly when it comes to your relationships, or if you're perfectly happy being single, then these messages aren't for you. Just got to get that right off the top. But for those of you who are having trouble in paradise, or you would like to get into a relationship, I've got some messages here. So that's that black and gold Solace Divinity setup. We got Queen of Pentacles, which is Virgo. It's in the reverse. I feel like there's it's an influence that might be your partner if you have a partner, right? It's an influence. I also see a maternal influence for those of you who are single that are telling you how you should be, right? It's just kind of looking down at you, judgy. It's like this judgy energy that's like, you should be doing better. You should be doing better, right? Trouble in paradise, two of cups, but it's in the reverse. Unbalance in relationships. Things are not fair. Things are not playing out the way they should. And then we got the moon, it's a guidepost. This is interesting. There's something going on in your heart that tells you it just isn't right. Something just isn't right. This is something that's been hanging over your head for a long time, Scorpio. Something has not set right with you for a long time, and you've been ignoring it. And I have a feeling that you've been ignoring it with using intoxicants as a substances as a means of blocking out what's going on in here, because it's too much work, right? It's too hard to change. It's too hard to tell other people your very uncomfortable truths. And even if it's a discomfort, like I'm not happy in this connection, or I don't feel like I'm living up to my fullest potential, but I'm afraid of changing things because I like things to be the same. I like the stability of where I live. That's why this 9 of Cups is here. It's like, I like the stability that I have in my life. However, I'm not really that crazy about this person. I mean, like, you love them. They're good people. There's things that you love about them, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like the biggest thing is that this other person is a little bit too rigid and earthbound, at least for you at this moment. This isn't clicking at this moment, and you need to take some space for yourself. And that's why these cards are here. The Fool and the 6 of Wands being here. It's like the two of you did everything together, right? Everything was all about the relationship, but something wasn't right and you became dependent on them. I'm sorry to be going on and on like this. If this isn't you, it's not you, but this is a story that's coming out for me. You just like, even though you weren't all in, you loved the safety of it. But now it's like the heaviness in the chest is just getting to be too much. The feeling of not rightness is getting to be too much. So here's your advice, okay? So I already told you about these guys. The Devil and the three of Cups are both saying that avoidance by checking out with habits or substances that distract you from the challenges, like that's not helping. It's not helping. It's get sober, get clear. Now, I mean, it could be that you're not drinking. Maybe you're just watching too much Netflix, spending too much time on social media. Anything that's keeping you distracted from facing the reality of what's going on in your relationships. That's an abusive kind of situation. That's a devil kind of situation, because it's keeping you feeling like you're chained into something that's not in your best interest. But you've never been trapped. You just haven't been able to think clearly about how to go forward. We've got the Hanged Man, but it's in the reverse. This is the upright Hanged Man, which is interesting because the Hanged Man in the reverse is upright. It's saying it's time to do something. You have to do something. And I think you're being told to go forward with your true calling, with what's really in your heart, even if it's scary and you don't know what you're doing. You are always protected. You're always protected. You're always being taken care of. And when you follow your heart, everything always works out, even if it seems scary. The scariness is the hardest part, but the reality is never as challenging as that. Yeah, it could be. There's a pretty good chance it could be awkward, but that awkwardness, I think, is a growth experience for yourself and the people around you. Okay. How to bring in love for those of you who are single. It could be for those of you who are single. This is a story that's already played out, and now you're single, right? That everything that I've just talked about, it's like now that's the aftermath for you, and now you're single. That could be the case for many of you, is that you're being told to get yourself out of your comfort zone and try those new things. Try the new things. I'm seeing get yourself out there to meet new people, and it could be in a volunteer scenario. You could be, setting up your dating profile. It's saying like try new things. And the main thing that I'm seeing is learning new skills is the big one. Learning new skills, specifically skills that contribute to the community and or could earn you money. And I feel like that's what it's the clue here is integrating your livelihood with your relationships. So first you're starting out with the livelihood, and then you're attracting people that are interested in the same kinds of things that you're interested in. Okay. There might be some of those of you who want to save a relationship that has gone off course for whatever reason. It could be because of things that you've been up to. It could be because of your partner's issues, your partner being like, I don't know, off. I feel like this is an earthy partner. This is a Virgo card. This is an earthy person, a very grounded, materialistic kind of person. And I'm not saying materialistic in a negative context, okay? I'm saying a person that's very responsible, a person that gets things taken care of. If you do want to save that relationship, then you're being asked to pull inward, allow yourself to be vulnerable, and do things on your own for a while. Detach from the interdependence so that you can get a perspective on who you actually are. Because a healthy, balanced, good relationship is about two healthy individuals who enjoy each other's company and complement each other. It's not about two individuals that can't live without each other. That's codependency, right? But I'm not getting for those of you who are having troubled relationships, I'm not getting the impression that that's your partner that is codependent with you. It just ended up becoming that way, and I sense a strong sense of resentment from the other partner because they've been put in the position of being the dependable party. It's really frustrating for them. Some of you might be feeling that frustration of being the dependable party. Mm-hmm. The roles might be reversed. So everything I said is the opposite, right? Follow your heart and tell the other person that you can't do it that way. You need them to have some independence. All right, so finally I'm going to pull an affirmation. We're getting on 20 minutes here. It's time to move on, Scorpio. affirmation, I trust my instincts and make decisions with confidence. There it is. I love this. I love this affirmation to end with, because your instincts have been telling you what you need to do. And with faith in your abilities, faith in your instincts, faith in the divine to guide you and take care of you, you are going forward on the path that you really need to be on. I think you have not been on the path that you've wanted to. I mean, it all ends up working out in the end. There's no such thing as being off the path. But you've had a pull for a long time. Your instincts have been telling you to do something differently, and you've been ignoring it for a long time. And now it's time to go forward, knowing that your heart's been right all along. All right, this is where I leave off, Scorpio. I'll see you next time. You take care of yourself.